Hi there. My name is Bryn Boyce. I'm the Associate Artistic Director of Commonwealth Shakespeare Company and Director of the CSC Academy. Welcome to our 2021 Apprentice Company Virtual Showcase for Session 2. Woohoo! We have spent the last 4 weeks together working on Shakespeare's text and the actor's voice. We thank you, our audience, for joining us as we present these works in progress. Today, we'll be enjoying Group 1's scenes and monologues. Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for Group 2. Should you need it, speech recognition captioning is being used today. Just locate the CC option in the menu on the YouTube window. Before we start, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the Indigenous land on which we reside as an expression of appreciation, awareness, and gratitude. We would also like to acknowledge that the digital technology that we're using together today and that we use throughout this program is not available in many Indigenous communities. To learn more about CSC's work toward racial equity, including this process of land acknowledgement, please visit comshakes.org/LA. We'd also like to invite anyone who is local to Boston or thinking of traveling this way this weekend to join us for free Shakespeare on the Boston Common, still playing tonight through Sunday, August 8th, to see The Tempest, starring renowned Shakespearean actor John Douglas Thompson as Prospero. Details on registration are also on our website, comshakes.org. Victoria?
Thank you, Bryn. Hi, I'm Victoria Townsend. I'm the Artistic Programs Manager for CSC and Coordinator for our Academy. We're so glad you could join us tonight. This past year has been a wild experience for us and for the theater community at large. Like so many of you, we've been learning how to translate our work to virtual mediums like this broadcast that you're going to see this evening. And while we're very excited that our return to in-person programming has begun, we're also so incredibly proud of the work that our students have explored in this digital format and the ways in which virtual theater has helped us be more accessible to students and audiences from all over. And while the possibilities of technology and connection during this time are very exciting, we also know that technology does not always work perfectly. Our students and staff are performing from their homes this evening all over the country. And as such, it's possible we might have some glitches of our Wi-Fi networks or some other fun surprises along the way as we all navigate, performing around pets and family and roommates and more. But should we have a major technical glitch happen, you might see a special guest appearance from our stage manager who will help us reset and continue with the sharing of our work to make sure that we see everybody's pieces before the evening's end. This broadcast is about 90 minutes long and is going to showcase 20 different students. And with that, I'm going to turn you over to our first pair. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Caleb Palmer, zooming in from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And I'm Nettie Chickering, zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee.
Today we're going to be doing a scene from The Two Gentlemen of Verona. I'll be playing Valentine.
And I'll be playing Proteus.
And later I'll be playing Malcolm from Macbeth. Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus. Home-keeping youth have ever homely wits. Were't not affection chains thy tender days to the sweet glances of thy honored love? I rather would entreat thy company to see the wonders of the world abroad, than living dully sluggardized at home, wear out thy youth with shapeless idleness. But if thou lovest, love still, and thrive therein, even as I would when I to love begin.
Wilt thou be gone? Sweet Valentine, adieu. Think on thy Proteus when thou happily seest some rare, noteworthy object in thy travel. Wish me partaker in thy happiness when thou dost meet good hap, and in thy danger, if ever danger do environ thee. Commend thy grievance to my holy prayers, for I will be thy beadsman, Valentine.
And on some love book pray for my success?
Upon some book I love, I'll pray for thee.
Let's on some shallow story of deep love, how young Leander crossed the Hellespont.
That's a deep story of a deeper love, for he was more than over shoes in love.
'Tis true, for you are over boots in love. Yet you never crossed the Hellespont.
Over the boots? Nay, give me not the boots.
I will not, for it boots thee not.
What?
To be in love, where scorn is bought with groans, coy looks with heart-sore sighs, one fading moment's mirth with 20 watchful, weary, tedious nights, if haply won, perhaps a hapless gain. If lost, why then a grievous labor won. However, but a folly bought with wit, or else a wit by folly vanquished.
So by your circumstance, you call me fool.
So by your circumstance, I fear you'll prove.
'Tis love you cavil at. I am not love.
Love is your master, for he masters you, and he that is so yoked by a fool, methinks should not be chronicled for wise.
Yet writers say, as in the sweetest bud, the eating canker dwells. So eating love inhabits in the finest wits of all.
And writers say, as the most forward bud is eaten by the canker ere it blow, even so by love the young and tender wit is turned to folly, blasting in the bud, losing his verdure even in the prime, and all the fair effects of future hopes. But wherefore waste I time to counsel thee, thou who art a votary to fond desire? Once more, adieu. My father at the road expects my coming, there to see me shipped.
And thither will I bring thee, Valentine.
Sweet Proteus, no. Let us now take our leave. To Milan, let me hear of thee by letters, of thy success in love, and what news else betideth here in absence of thy friend. And I likewise will visit thee with mine.
All happiness bechance to thee in Milan.
As much to you at home. And so, farewell.
He after honor hunts, I after love. He leaves his friends to dignify them more. I leave my friends, myself, and all for love. Thou, Julia, thou hast metamorphosed me, made me neglect my studies, lose my time. War with good counsel, set the world at naught, made wit with musing weak, heart sick with thought. Thank you.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction. Unspeak mine own detraction, here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no point broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old seaward with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Stark, and I'm zooming in from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
My name is Brandon Lee. I'm zooming in from Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
We're performing a scene from Richard III, and I'm playing Lady Anne.
I'm playing Richard.
After that, I'll be playing Tamara from Titus Andronicus.
And I'll be playing Goneril from King Lear.
Set down your honorable loan, whilst I awhile obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. To hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife, to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed with the self-same hand that made these wounds.
Stay, you that bear the corse, and set it down.
Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell!
Sweet saint, for charity, be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence, and trouble us not.
Lady, you know no rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest no laws of God nor man. No beast so fierce, but knows some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
How wonderful when devils tell the truth.
Oh, more wonderful than angels are so angry. Fairer than tongue can name thee. Let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself. I did not kill your husband.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falcon smoking in his blood.
I grant ye.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Oh, then God grant me too, thou mayest be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The fitter for the King of Heaven that hath him.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me named.
Some dungeon?
Your bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and move into a somewhat slower method, is not the causer of the timeless deaths as blameful as the executioner?
Thou art the cause, and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty, which did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
Or you should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would I were to be revenged on me.
This is a quarrel most unnatural, to be revenged on him that loveth you.
It is a quarrel, just and reasonable, to be revenged on him that slew my husband.
He that bereft thee of thy husband, lady, did it to help thee to a better husband.
Where is he?
Here. Oh. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Oh, well, never came poison from so sweet a place.
I never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect my eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were basilisk to strike thee dead.
I would they were, that I might die at once, for now they kill me with a living death. Thine eyes from mine have drawn salt tears.
Oh.
Take not thy lips to scorn, for they were made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which, if thou please, to hide in this true bosom, and let forth the soul that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, now dispatch! 'Twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword, or take up me!
I would I knew thy heart.
'Tis figured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
Then never man was true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
That shall you know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I will not keep her long.
Stay, Roman brethren, gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my sons to be as dear to me. Suffice it not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs and returns, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool? By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you will do well. The fault of it I'll answer. Put on what weary negligence you will, you and your fellows. I'd have it come to question. If he distaste it, let him to my sister, whose mind and mine I know in this are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that still would manage those authorities that he had given away. Oh, by my life, old fools are babes again, and must be used with checks as flatteries when they are seen abused. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Margaret Camilletti, and we're going to be doing a scene from Macbeth. I'm going to be playing Lady Macbeth.
And I'm going to be playing Macbeth.
And then after that, I'm going to be doing Catherine's monologue from Taming of the Shrew.
And I'm going to be doing a monologue from Hamlet.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I've drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
If I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies at the second chamber?
Dullbane.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Well, wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, Sleep no more, Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried to all the house, Sleep no more, Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think such brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on't again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are these? Ha! They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather than will tune the seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst.
Fie, unknit that threatening, unkind brow, and dart not scornful glances from those eyes to wound thy lord, thy king, thy governor. It blots thy beauty as frosts do bite the meads, confounds thy fame as whirlwinds shake fair buds, and in no sense is meet or amiable. A woman moved is like a fountain troubled, muddy, ill-seeming, thick, bereft of beauty. And while it is so, none so dry or thirsty will deign to sip or touch one drop of it. Thy husband is thy lord, thy life, thy keeper, thy head, thy sovereign, one that cares for thee. Such duty as the subject owes the prince, even such a woman oweth to her husband. And when she is froward, peevish, sullen, sour, what is she but a foul contending rebel and graceless traitor to her loving lord? I am ashamed that women are so simple, to offer war where they should kneel for peace, or seek for rule, supremacy, and sway when they are bound to serve, love, and obey? Why are our bodies soft and weak and smooth, unapt to toil and trouble in the world, but that our soft conditions and our hearts should well agree with our external parts? Come, come, you froward and unable worms. My mind hath been as big as one of yours, my heart as great, my reason haply more to bandy word for word and frown for frown. But now I see our lances are but straws, our strength as weak, our weakness past compare, that seeming to be most which we indeed least are. Then veil your stomachs, for it is no boot, and place your hands beneath your husband's foot, in token of which duty, if he please, my hand is ready. May it do him ease. Thank you.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprise is of great pith, and moment with this respect their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now. The fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Logan Kelly and I'm zooming in from Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Sierra Rosetta and I'm zooming in from Northwestern College in Orange City, Iowa.
And we will be performing a scene from Hamlet, and I will be the ghost.
And I will be playing Hamlet.
Thank you.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house to ears of flesh and blood, I could a tale unfold whose lightest wood would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love.
Oh God!
Revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to note that I, with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love, may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat weed that roots itself in ease on Lethe wharf. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, here, 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me, so that the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits and traitorous gifts, a wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce, one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there! But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief, let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his uneffectual fire. Adieu, 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 remember me.
Oh, all you host of heaven, oh earth, what else? And shall I couple hell? Fie! Hold my heart, and you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee. Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain, smiling, damned villain! That one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. Again, I'm Sierra Rosetta, and this is Julia from Two Gentlemen of Verona. Oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words! Injurious wasps to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings! Oh, kiss each several paper for amends. Here is writ, kind Julia. Oh, unkind Julia! As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trembling contemptuously on thy disdain! Here is writ, love, wounded Proteus. Oh, poor wounded name! My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed, and thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I have found each letter in the letter, except thine own name, that some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful hanging rock and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name twice writ. Poor wounded Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia. That I'll tear away. Oh, and yet I will not. Sith so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Thus will I fold them one on another. Now kiss, embrace, contend. Do what you will. Thank you.
Again, my name is Logan Kelly, and this is the princess from Love Flavors Lost. A time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, no, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness, and therefore this. If for my love, as there's no such cause, you will do aught. This shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed to some forlorn and naked hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere, insociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, if frosts and fasts, hard lodging and thin weeds nip not the gaudy blossoms of your love, but that it bear this trial and last love, then at the expiration of the year, come challenge me. Challenge me by these deserts. And by this virgin palm now kissing thine, I will be thine. Until that instant, shut my woeful self up in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation in remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sean Donnelly, and I'm coming from Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Hi, I'm Brenda, and I'm zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee.
And today we're doing a scene from Antony and Cleopatra. I'll be playing Antony.
And I'll be playing Cleopatra.
I am sick and sullen.
I am sorry to give breathing to my purpose.
Help me away, dear Charmian, I shall fall. It cannot be thus long. The sight of nature will not sustain it.
Now, my dearest queen.
Pray you stand further from me.
What's the matter?
I know by that same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman? You may go. Would she have never given you leave to come? Let her not say 'tis I that keep you here. I have no power upon you. Hers you are.
The gods best know.
Oh, never was there queen so mightily betrayed, yet at the first I saw the treasons planted.
Cleopatra.
Why should I think you can be mine and true, though you in swearing shake the throned gods that have been false to Fulvia? Riotous madness to be entangled in such mouth-made vows which break themselves in swearing.
Most sweet queen.
Nay, pray you seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes. Bliss in our brows bent. None are part so poor, but was a race in heaven, they are so still. Or thou, the greatest soldier of the world, art turned the greatest liar.
How now, lady?
I would I had thy inches, thou shouldst know there were a heart in Egypt.
Hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands our services a while, but my full heart remains in use with you. Our Italy shines o'er with civil swords. Sextus Pompeius makes his approaches to the port of Rome. Equality of two domestic powers breeds scrupulous faction. The hated, grown to strength, are newly grown to love. The condemned Pompey, rich in his father's honor, creeps apace into the hearts of such as have not thrived upon the present state, whose numbers threaten. And quietness, grown sick of rest, would purge by any desperate change. My more particular, and that which most with you should safe my going, is Fulvia's death.
Though age from folly could not give me freedom, it does from childishness. Can Fulvia die?
She's dead, my queen. Look here, and at thy sovereign leisure, read the garboils she awaked. At the last, best, see when and where she died.
Oh, most false love! Where be the sacred vials thou shouldst fill with sorrowful water? Now I see Fulvia's death, how mine received shall be.
Quarrel no more, but be prepared to know the purposes I bear, which are or cease, as you shall give the advice. By the fire that quickens Nilus's slime, I go from hence, thy soldier, servant, making peace or war as thou affectst.
Cut my lace, Charmian, come. Oh, but let it be, I am quickly ill and well, so Antony loves.
My precious queen, forbear, and give true evidence to his love, which stands an honorable trial.
So Fulvia told me.
I prithee turn aside and weep for her. Then bid adieu to me and say the tears belong to Egypt. Good now. Play one scene of excellent dissembling and make it look like perfect honor.
You'll heat my blood. No more.
You can do better yet, but this is meetly.
Now by my sword!
That target still he mends! But this is not the best look, prithee, Charmian, how this Herculean Roman does become the carriage of his chafe.
I'll leave you, lady.
Courteous lord, one word. Sir, you and I must part, but that's not it. Sir, you and I have loved, but there's not it. Something it is, I would. Oh, my oblivion is a very Antony, and I am all forgotten.
But that your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself.
'Tis sweating labor to bear such idleness so near the heart as Cleopatra this. But sir, forgive me, for my becomings kill me when they do not eye well to you. Your honor calls you hence. Therefore be deaf to my unpitied folly, and all the gods go with you. Upon your sword sit laurel victory, and smooth success be strewed before your feet.
Let us go. Come, our separation so abides and flies, that thou residing here goest yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here remain with thee. Away!
Hi again, I'm Prenda, and I'm going to be doing a monologue from The Merchant of Venice, and I will be playing Portia. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest and the mightiest it becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptered sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show life's gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy. And that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there. Thank you.
Again, I'm Sean Donnelly. I'll be playing Bolingbroke from Richard II. As I was banished, Hereford. But as I come for Lancaster. And noble uncle, I beseech your grace, look on my wrongs with an indifferent eye. You are my father. For methinks in you I see old Gaunt alive. Oh, then, my father, will you permit that I shall stand condemned, a wandering vagabond? My rights and royalties plucked from my arms perforce and given away to upstart unproofs. Wherefore was I born? If that my cousin king be king of England, it must be granted I am Duke of Lancaster. You have a son, O'Merle, my noble cousin. Had you first died and he been thus trod down, he should have bound his uncle Gaunt, a father, to rouse his wrongs and chase them to the bay. I am denied to sue my livery here, and yet my letters patents give me leave. My father's goods are all distrained and sold, and these and all are all misemployed. What would you have me do? I am a subject, and I challenge law. Attorneys are denied me, and therefore, personally, I lay my claim to my inheritance of free descent. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Rose O'Malley and I'm zooming in from Warrenton, North Carolina.
I'm Noah Lykand and I'm zooming in from Newton, Massachusetts.
Today we will be performing a scene from Twelfth Night and I'll be playing the role of Viola.
And I'll be playing Duke Orsino. Afterwards, I'll be doing a Brutus monologue from Julius Caesar.
For my monologue, I will be doing a piece from Romeo and Juliet, playing Juliet.
Come hither, boy. If ever thou shalt love, in the sweet pangs of it remember me. For I am such as all true lovers are, unstead and skittish in all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature that is beloved. How dost thou like this tune?
It gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life upon't, young though thou art, thine eye hath stayed upon some favor that it loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little, by your favor.
What kind of woman is't?
Of your complexion.
She is not worth thee then. What years of faith?
About your years, my lord.
Too old, by heaven. Let still the woman take an elder than herself. So wears she to him, so sways she level in her husband's heart. For boy, however we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more longing, wavering, sooner lost and worn than women's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are. Alas, that they are so, to die when they to perfection grow.
Once more, Cesario, get thee to yon same sovereign cruelty. Tell her, my love, more noble than the world, prizes not quantity of dirty lands, the parts that fortune hath bestowed upon her. Tell her I hold as giddily as fortune, but 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her and attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir?
I cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her. You tell her so. Must she not then be answered?
There is no woman's sides can bide the beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much, they lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite, no motion of the liver, but the palate that suffer surfeit, cloyment, and revolt. But 'tis mine is as big as the sea, and can digest twice as much. Make no compare between the love that a woman may bear me and that I owe Olivia.
Aye, but I know.
What dost thou know?
Too well what love women to men may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter, loved a man. As it might be, perhaps, were I a woman, I should your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love. But let concealment, like a worm i' the bud, feed on her damasked cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy, she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was this not love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed our shows are more than will, for still we prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too, and yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste, give her this jewel, say, my love will give no place, bide no denay. It must be by his death, and for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities. And therefore, think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as its kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell. Thank you.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swear'st, thou mayest prove false. Had lovers perjuries, they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou think'st I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentleman, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Liv Cuna, and I'm zooming in from Thompson, Connecticut.
And I'm Hope Hansen, and I'm zooming in from San Francisco, California.
And tonight we are performing a scene from Romeo and Juliet. I am playing the nurse.
And I'll be Juliet.
And
then
you're good.
And afterwards, I'll be doing a monologue as Phoebe from As You Like It.
And then after that, I will be doing a monologue as Rosalind from As You Like It. Thank you.
Oh, good, sweet nurse. O Lord, why thou lookest sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a-weary, give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache, what a jaunt have I!
I would thou hast my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee speak. Good, good, nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me, thou art out of breath? The excuse thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tell thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that, say either, and I'll state a circumstance. Let me be satisfied, is good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Oh, Romeo! No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on yet, they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but oldest I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I? It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Oh, my back, that other side. Oh, my back, my back. Oh, beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
In faith, I am sorry thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I'll warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest, your love says, like an honest gentleman. Where's your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow, is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil, come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, out to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
High fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
Thank you.
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty sure, and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things, who shut their coward gates on atomy, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counter to swoon, why now fall down? Or if thou canst not, for shame, lie not to say mine eyes are murderers. Now show the wound my eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Lean upon the rush, the cicatrix, incapable and pressure, thy palm some moment keeps. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not, nor I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt. Thank you.
I am muted. Let me start again. Sorry. And why, I pray you, who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? But though you have no beauty as by my faith, I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more in you than in the ordinary of nature's stale work. Oh, it's my little life. I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No faith, proud mistress. Hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your silk black hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can entain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her like foggy south puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a proper man than she a woman. 'Tis fools such as you that makes the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you, that flatters her. And out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. But mistress, know yourself, down on your knees, and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can, you are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Thou was most foul being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daniel Warman, and I'm zooming in from Buffalo, New York.
Hi, I'm Abby Colborn, and I'm zooming in from Fuquay Varina, North Carolina.
And we're doing a scene. We're doing a
Go
scene
ahead.
from Macbeth. I'm playing Macbeth.
I'm playing Lady Macbeth. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman who gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I'm afraid they've awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband?
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended.
I.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wig each other, I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make you mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more, Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cotter shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why have you brought the daggers from this place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the daggers. Sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. Hark! I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking! Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou couldst. Thank you.
Again, I am Abby Colborn, zooming in from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, and this is Isabella's monologue from Measure for Measure. Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is it not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? What should I think? Heaven shield my mother played my father fair, for such a warped slip of wilderness ne'er issued from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish! Might but my bending down reprieve thee from thy fate, it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 prayers for your death. No word to save thee. Oh, fie, thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself a bawd. 'Tis best thou diest quickly. Thank you.
Hi, again, my name is Daniel Warman, and I'll be doing a monologue by Proteus from Two Gentlemen of Verona. Even as one heat another heat expels, or as one nail by strength drives out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. Is it mine or Valentine's praise, her true perfection, or my false transgression that makes me reasonless to reason thus? She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is thawed, which, like a waxen image against a fire, bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was wont. Oh, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How shall I dote on her with more advice, that thus without advice begin to love her? 'Tis but her picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason's light. But when I look on her perfections, there is no reason but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cleo Mitrakostas, and I'm zooming in from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Hey, I'm Daniel Mayhill, and I'm zooming in from the Bronx, New York.
And today we'll be doing a scene from Richard III. I'll be playing Lady Anne.
And I'll be playing Richard. I did not kill your husband.
Why then? He is alive.
Hey, he is dead and slain by Edward's hands.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant you.
Dost grant me, hedgehog, then God grant me too. Thou mayst be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The better for the King of heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me, that hope to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Thus, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Or bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you?
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall something into a slower method, is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou wast the cause and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, so I may live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes cannot endure that beauty's rack. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would I were to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a fowler toad. Out of my sight thou dost infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were basilisk to strike thee dead.
I would they were that I might die at once. For now they kill me with the living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears, shamed their aspects with store of childish drops. I never sued to friend nor enemy. My tongue could never learn sweet smoothing word, but now thy beauty is proposed my fee, my proud heart sues and prompts my tongue to speak. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here I lend thee this sharp pointed sword. But if thou please to hide in this true breast, and let the soul forth that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Take up the sword again. Take up me.
Arise, dissembler, though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That is in thy rage.
I would I knew thy heart.
Is figured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
For never was man true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then, my peace is made.
That shalt thou know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
But how my ring encompasseth thy finger, even so thy breast enclotheth my poor heart. Wear them both, for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one favor at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That it may please you to leave behind these sad designs to him that have most cause to be a mourner, and presently repair to Crosby House, where after I have solemnly interred at his grave and wet his tears with my repentant grave, I will, with all expedient to do you, see you. Grant me this boon.
With all my heart, and much it joys me too, to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve, but since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Thank you.
Hi again, I'm Cleo, and this is Portia from Julius Caesar. Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed and dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate us and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, while you are heavy. And what men tonight have had resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? There'd be no more. Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife. Thank you.
Hey, it's Daniel again. And this is Louis the Dauphin from Act 5, Scene 2 of King John. A noble temper dost thou show in this, and great affections, wrestling in thy bosom, doth make an earthquake of nobility. Oh, what a noble combat hast thou fought between compulsion and a brave respect. Let me wipe off this honorable dew that silverly doth progress on thy cheeks. My heart hath melted at a lady's tears, being an ordinary inundation. But this effusion of such manly drops, this shower, blown up by tempests of the soul, startles mine eyes and makes me more amazed than had I seen the vaulty tops of heaven figured quite o'er with burning meteors. Lift up thy brow, renowned Salisbury, and with a great heart heave away the storm. Commend these waters to those baby eyes that never saw the giant world enraged, nor met with fortune other than at feast, full of warm blood, of mirth, of gossiping. Come, come, for thou shalt thrust thy hand as deep into the purse of rich prosperity as Lewis himself. So nobles, shall you all that knit your sinews to the strength of mine. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Jack Greenberg, and I'm zooming in from Greensboro, North Carolina.
I'm Catherine Menace, and I'm zooming in from Hingham, Massachusetts.
We'll be doing a scene from All's Well That Ends Well, and I'll be doing the character Bertram.
And I'll be playing Diana.
After that, I'll be performing a monologue from Richard II as Richard II.
And I'll be performing a monologue from Macbeth as Lady Macbeth. Thank you.
They told me that your name was Fontybell.
No, my good lord, Diana.
Oh, title goddess. And worth it with addition, but fair soul, in your fine frame hath love no quality? If the quick fire of youth light not your mind, you are no maiden, but a monument. When you are dead, you should be such a one as you are now. For you are cold and stern, and now you should be as your mother was when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest.
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty, such, my lord, as you owe to your wife.
No more of that. I pray thee, do not strive against my vows. I was compelled to her, but I love thee by love's own sweet constraint, and ever will do thee all rites of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. But when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves and mock us with our bareness.
How have I sworn?
'Tis not the many oaths that make the truth, but the plain single vow that is vowed true. If I should swear by love's great attributes, I love you dearly, would you believe my oaths when I did love you ill? This has no holding, to swear by him whom I protest to love that I will work against him. Therefore your oaths are words and poor conditions, but unsealed, at least in my opinion.
Change it. Change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy, and my love, my integrity, ne'er knew the crafts that you do charge men with. Say thou art mine, and ever my love, as it begins, shall so persever.
I see that men may rope us in such a snare that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but I have no power to give it from me.
Will you not, my lord?
It is an honor belonging to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy of the world and me to lose.
Mine honors such a ring. My chastity is the jewel of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, which were the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose. Thus, your own proper wisdom brings in the champion honor on my part against your vain assault.
Here, take my ring, my house, mine honor, yea, my life. Be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock on my chamber window. Now will I charge you in the bond of truth. When you have conquered my yet maiden bed, remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong, and you shall know them when back again this ring shall be delivered. And on your finger in the night, I'll put another ring, that what in time precedes may token to the future our past deeds. Adieu till then fail not, you have won a wife of me, though there my hope be done.
Heaven on earth I have won by wooing thee.
For which live long to thank both heaven and me. You may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo. She says all men have the like oaths. He had sworn to marry me when his wife's dead. Therefore, I'll lie with him when I am buried. Only in this disguise, I think it no sin to cozen him that would unjustly win.
no matter where. Of comfort no man speak. Let's talk of graves, of worms and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills, and yet not so. For what can we bequeath, save our deposed bodies to the ground? Our lands, our lives, and all our Bolingbroke's. And nothing can we call our own but death, and that small model of the barren earth which serves as paste and cover to our bones. For God's sake, let's sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings, how some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed, some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping killed, all murdered. For within that hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court, and there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing a breath, a little scene to monarchize, be feared, and kill with looks, as if this flesh which was about her life were brass impregnable, and humor thus comes at the end, and with a little pin bores through the castle wall, and farewell, king! Cover your heads and mock not flesh and blood with solemn reverence. Throw away respect, tradition, form, ceremonious duty. For you have all but mistook me, all this while. I live with bread like you. Feel want, taste grief, need friends. Subjected thus, how can you say to me, I am a king?
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? For this times which I count thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemst, the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage? What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked its nipple from my boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this. If we should fail, we fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, what canst you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell? Thank you. That's it for tonight, guys. Please tune in tomorrow for group 2. Thanks so much.